Paul McDermott here from pmdphotography.com, and you can probably tell what this tutorial is going to be about. It's going to be a very quick tutorial, literally just on eliminating these highlights. We could do the whole face, but we're not going to do that. This is strictly just very simply to take these highlights out of the cheeks and the forehead. Where did I get this picture from? Google. Just Google shiny forehead, and this is what came up. So seems to be all right. So we're going to use a technique called frequency separation. That is explained in detail in another tutorial, which I would leave the link in the description below. I'm just going to show you the two quick, simple things that I do to eliminate these first out of the picture. We're not going to do the rest of the face. Literally just take care of that, that, and that. So I have an action here. I go to Windows Actions, and I just play my frequency separation action. I'm going to hit play. It's going to take me to a Gaussian blur. I'm not going to explain all this. If you really want to learn this in depth, watch the tutorial that's in the description, in the link in the description below, and it'll explain what I'm doing. This is a bit of an add-on in addition to that tutorial. So you'll recognize this from the first one. Basically, we're just blurring out any texture. We bring this radius up, and we hit OK. And the action that I made will create all these layers for you, and we're going to concentrate on these two down here, specifically this one called low. So frequency separation is split this into low and high. High being the textures, wow, that's awful, and low being the tones and the colors. So really turn off the high level, and we're going to use two brushes. You can use more, but these are two very simple things to eliminate these shiny spots. You have to think of it in a blurry sort of mind frame. Don't worry about the textures. Don't worry about any bumps or anything like that up there. Just think about the differences, the difference between this illumination and that illumination. And no matter what we do in the lows, it is not going to affect the textures of the highs. So try to keep that mindset. So we just want to get rid of that. One quick way is to take the lasso tool, hit L, and circle around it. Oops, let's just make sure your feather radius is like 5 or something like that, and just kind of circle around it. And you're going to want to go filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and pick a value that makes a difference, because when you apply that value, you can go filter, Gaussian blur again, because it remembers your last filter setting, or as it says there, Command F. So I could just keep hitting Command F, and look at it disappear. So now we put that high level back on, and you'll see it's starting to disappear. We're not done yet, but to see the difference, let's turn this off. And look at the difference that quick little thing is made there. We're not using the patch tool. We're not dragging this over here, because that messes up textures, and that's what's good about frequency separation. Turn high back off again. Basically, you want to just lasso around any high contrasted areas. Remember, we don't have to go filter Gaussian blur again, because it remembers the last setting that I had. So I can just basically circle around stuff, go Command F, circle around whatever I want to smoothen out, Command F, see what it's doing here? Anywhere, the whole, you're not smoothing the image itself, you're smoothing the tones and the colors. The textures are left intact. So just keep lassoing around there. You're going to get to a point where this isn't going to do much anymore. So the next step that I would do, and we can blur this until the cows come home, but really we want to bring some of these colors up into there. So let's just say, for the lack of a better word, because it being a tutorial, I don't want to drag this on, I want to bring some of these colors here into here to even that tone out. What you want to do is go to Brush, B, and scroll through until you get to Mixer Brush. Not even going to explain what it is. Remember these settings and just apply it, because that's 90% of the battle, is just doing it. Learn about it later. Save these settings. This is off or this is on, this is off, whichever they might be. That one's not that highlight and that one's not highlighted. Wet is 20%, load 20, mix 20, flow 30. Boom, just leave it at that. What you want to do is using the bracket keys or whatever means you may want to do it, and you have a source color and a destination color. You hover over the source color, press and hold the mouse down, and drag in. It's a smudge. You're basically smudging that color. Pick a source and drag it to the destination, and you can see how it's, and I keep going and going, and see how I'm going around in a circle, dragging the nose tones up, and look how that's smoothing that out. And again, you can do this a lot longer than I'm doing that. Oops, drag some of that, whatever, doesn't matter. But you can see how it's smoothing everything out. Same with the cheekbones. Just drag this stuff in there, drag them up there. Basically, we're smoothing tones out, and it just looks like one massive Gaussian blur. But because we're using frequency separation, we are not affecting the texture of her skin whatsoever. And again, this is the bonus of using this method instead of just opening up an image and using the patch tool. All right, we're not going to do her whole face because the whole point of this tutorial is just to quickly show you how we take they're still there, but we can keep going and going and going. But look at the difference between there and there with a few small, quick brush strokes. If we want to fix this entirely, we have to go into the highs. We'll just kind of this is where you can use the patch tool, and just there's a multitude, and this is where you're affecting textures and you're not affecting tones, and you have to be really a little bit more precise with this one here because there is quite a lot of bumps. We want to try to get rid of those bumps. Might want to use no, that's not working, so let's use this clone stamp tool. But these are the finer details, and this is what I don't want to go into. Most images, I mean, this is a pretty extreme image. I'm going to sample. Let's see if we can. No, this is not going to work. Up here. What am I not sampling here? Clone tool. That's because my opacity is too low. You got to have this fairly high. And we're just going to. Oh, because I'm on the wrong layer, that's why. See? Knew there was something wrong. See how we're just sampling points, being very subtle about it. And this is how you'll fine-tune it. We're not going to go into this too much, but you get the idea here. See? And you just keep working that until it all disappears, and you want to retain texture in there. Okay, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. You can get the gist of what I'm doing up there, but let's just take a look at the before and after. Forget about that part right there. But in a very short amount of time, and we have not affected her skin texture at all. I think that looks amazing. A little bit more work up there, and I don't think you need to see me do that. We have better things to do. So that's it. Watch the video on frequency separation, and this will make much more sense. But this, I didn't go into this specifically in that other tutorial about removing the highlights, so I figured that I would just append that video with this one here. That's it. Just a quick one for today. Subscribe to my channel, and these videos will be up at least once a week. Thanks, guys.